Welcome to Poland Daily Culture. On today's episode, we're here from the Polish National Library at Kraszyński Palace.
The National Library of Poland is the central Polish library, subject directly to the Ministry of Culture and National Heritage of the Republic of Poland. The library collects books, journals, electronic and audiovisual publications published in the territory of Poland, as well as Polonika published abroad. It is the most important humanities research library, the main archive of Polish writing and the state center of bibliographic information about books. It also plays a significant role as a research facility and is an important methodological center for other Polish libraries. The National Library receives a copy of every book published in Poland as legal deposit. The National Library's history has origins in the 18th century, including items from the collections of John III Sobieski, which were obtained from his granddaughter Maria Karolina Sobieska, Duchess of Bouillon. However, the Załuski collection was confiscated by troops of Russian Tsaria Katharina II in the aftermath of the Second Partition of Poland and sent to St. Petersburg, where the books formed the mass of the Imperial Public Library on its formation in 1795. Parts of the collection were damaged or destroyed, as they were mishandled while being removed from the library as transported to Russia, and many were stolen. According to the historian Joachim Lelevel, the Załuski's book could be bought at Grodno by the basket. When Poland regained her independence in 1918, there was no central institution to serve in the capacity of a national library. On February 24, 1928, by the decree of President Ignacy Mościcki, the National Library was created in its modern form. Initially, the National Library lacked a seat of its own. Because of that, the collections had to be accommodated in several places. The main reading room was located in the newly built library building of the Warsaw School of Economics. In 1935, the Potocki Palace in Warsaw became home for the special collections. A new purpose-built building for the library was planned in what is now the Pole Mokotowskie, in a planned monumental government district. However, its construction was hampered by the outbreak of World War II.
So I'm here today with Dr. Tomasz Makowski, the director of the National Library. Dr. Makowski, welcome to Poland Daily Culture.
Welcome everyone to the Polish National Library in the Palace of the Republic of Poland.
So today we'd like to discuss the history, or rather the pre-World War II history of the National Library. It's a very long and interesting history. Could you tell us a little something about it?
Polska Biblioteka Narodowa jest jedną z najstarszych na świecie.
The Polish National Library is one of the oldest in the world. It was established in the early 1730s. It became open to the public in 1747. It is a very old library. It was the biggest library in Europe in the 18th century.
Jest to zatem bardzo stara biblioteka. Zapominamy bardzo często o tym, że
It had 400,000 volumes and 11,000 medieval and modern manuscripts. It was a really famous library. It is called the Library of the Republic of Poland because it was previously named this way earlier on.
Było 11 000 i była to rzeczywiście biblioteka słynna. Nazywamy ją Biblioteką Rzeczypospolitej, bo taką nazwę faktycznie miała.
It was also called the Załuski Library because the library was formed by two bishops, the Bishop of Krakow, very educated and rich, and his younger brother, the Bishop of
dobrze
Kyiv.
wykształcony i bardzo bogaty biskup i jego młodszy brat, biskup kijowski. Tutaj w Warszawie. Pierwsza biblioteka.
The first library was formed and opened to the public here in Warsaw.
Tak znakomita kolekcja była łakomym kąskiem po...
This amazing collection was taken away to Petersburg by Catherine the Great after the Third Partition of Poland. The Polish National Library became the beginning of the Imperial Public Library in Petersburg. Throughout the period of Poland's lack of independence, up until regaining independence 100 years ago, we didn't have a central institution which kept the entire collection of literature.
A zatem przez cały XIX wiek Aż do odzyskania przez Polskę niepodległości 100 lat temu nie było w kraju pod zaborami centralnej instytucji, która by gromadziła całość piśmiennictwa. Cechą wyróżniającą
The feature that marks out every national library is the fact that every publication has its own obligatory copy. That kind of copy the Polish National Library got in 1780. When Poland was reborn 100 years ago, the first thought that came to mind was the renewal of the National Library, because in every country the National Library is the symbol of independence.
Od razu myślano o powołaniu Biblioteki Narodowej powtórnie, bowiem w każdym kraju Biblioteka Narodowa jest jednym z symboli niepodległości. To tylko wolne kraje mogą mieć.
Only sovereign countries can have a place where they can keep the memory of what was happening. In 1919, the National Library appeared on the first country's budget list.
W 1919 roku w pierwszym budżecie państwa Biblioteka Narodowa jako punkt się pojawia. I już kupuje zbiory, już
The library started to hire people, buy collections, but the real date of the library's renovation is the year 1920.
Podpisano w 1928 roku.
Then President Mościcki defined the library's duties, which are still relevant.
Ten krótki czas trwania do 1939 roku.
The library collected a huge amount of literature from the time of its renovation to the beginning of the Second World War, so 1939. The library had 52,000 manuscripts.
Zgromadzenie ogromnej kolekcji najcenniejszych zbiorów polskich. Samych rękopisów było 52 000, ale także próba zgromadzenia wszystkich publikacji.
It tried to get back the collections lost before renovation, the collections from the 19th century, when the library didn't exist, also those taken away to Petersburg.
Rewindykowała zbiory z Petersburga po traktacie ryskim, owej pierwszej Biblioteki Narodowej, ale także otrzymywała wspaniałe kolekcje z Paryża, z Raperyzwilu.
The library got the collections from Petersburg after the Peace of Riga. It received a lot of collections from Paris, Rapperswil, thanks to our emigrants, who were trying to keep the memory of their home country by building this cultural institution.
O Polsce i polskiej kulturze. W 1939 roku pierwsze bomby spadają.
In 1939, the first bombs fell on the National Library. At that time, it didn't have its main building.
Głównego Bibliotekę Narodową i wtedy już pierwsze straty ponosimy. Ale warto pamiętać, że w 1940
we incurred the first losses. It's worth remembering that Germans set fire to our most valuable collections in 1944 after the Warsaw Uprising.
Narodowa Polska była 3 razy otwierana. Po raz pierwszy w 1747 roku, po raz drugi w
That's why we say that the Polish National Library was opened 3 times. The first time in 1747, then in 1928, and the third time in 1945, when we had to start rebuilding our collection once again.
Dlatego, że grono pracowników, wspaniałych specjalistów.
We had to rebuild our team as well, because only a few of our specialists survived the war.
Katombę II wojny światowej. Dzisiaj Biblioteka Narodowa.
Today, the Polish National Library is one of the best libraries in the world. In the previous year, we were happy to be a host of the World's Congress of Libraries.
Światowy Kongres Bibliotek. Na zaproszenie Biblioteki Narodowej.
We invited 3,500 librarians from 120 countries here to celebrate with us this event.
W ponad 200 konferencjach.
For a week, they took part in over 200 conferences. The conferences concerned the subject of development of libraries.
I Polska Biblioteka Narodowa obecnie bierze udział w dyskusjach,
The National Library takes part in discussions concerning the matter of libraries in the world. I think that if we take a closer look at the library from the 18th century, we can clearly see that today's library follows the example of the 2 bishops who established it nearly 250 years ago.
2 znakomitych biskupów, którzy bibliotekę zakładali prawie 250 lat temu.
Dr. Makowski, thank you very much for joining us here at Poland Daily Culture.
Dziękuję bardzo.
Thank you very much for joining us at Poland Daily Culture. Join us again tomorrow when we take another journey through Polish culture.